Hello everyone, this is Alisha Costanzo and welcome back to my channel. Today is a vlog day. Vlog week, but we're loading the vlog today. And there's lots of book stuff in here, lots of planner stuff in here, a little bit of life stuff in here. I will warn you, I do talk about blood and giving blood and stuff in this video. So I will preface that by saying I went and donated blood. So keep track of that in case this stuff makes you queasy, because it makes me queasy. So just a warning, but it's something I did this week. Really, it's just like, it's a mosh podge, it's a vlog. I don't really know what I'm doing with my life at the moment, but welcome to it. Okay, hey people, love this honking red thing in the middle of my forehead. Cutting up things for my planners, but also was just listening to Dark Eden, Patrick Harmon, and it's only like a 5.5 hour book. And at first I was like, okay, this is exactly what the blurb said. It still is exactly what the blurb said, but it actually made me cry a little bit, like 70% of the way through it. So impressed there. I didn't call until the moment right before it was revealed about the main character and what his fear was. I have a few predictions because there's something about immortality and ailments after their cures that I'm curious about, and this is really what drove me to read the story of all the Eden stories. So hello everybody, vlog update. Hi, how you doing? Today's my day off. It is Friday. I haven't had a whole lot much going on other than doing planning stuff and whatnot, but today I finally went and donated blood for the first time. And it was an event. So I am one of those people who is afraid of needles. I can do shots, I can do tattoos, but something about blood leaving my body just like cringe. So much so that I was shaking the entire time we drove there, the entire time before there, during, after, on the way home, for a couple hours after I gave blood. Shaking. I cried twice before, on the way there. I cried during it, like, so ugly, cried, thank God for the mask. I ugly cried, had my arm over my eyes, holding my husband's hand. It was actually like this, holding his hand so I didn't have to see. Felt gross and awful the entire time because I could feel the needle in my arm. You know, that kind of thing. Left or right, got through it just fine. A couple hours later, they say 2 hours you can take your bandage off. I waited 3 or 4, took my bandage off. Went a couple feet to the laundry room with my husband, felt something cold and wet trickling down my arm inside of my sweater sleeve. Pull it up and there's blood all down my arm. So I get nauseous. I go to the bathroom and try to clean it up. It hurts. I'm holding a washcloth to it over my head, sobbing, trying not to puke, trying not to pass out while my husband bandages me up. And then I shower and he has to bandage me up again because I was covered with blood and the icky, gross, like nervous sweats and the stink from that. I couldn't handle it anymore. And then I've been very weak and kind of icky all day since it. I knew I would have to take the whole day off for this kind of event. And the sucky thing is I did this to help cut costs of lab testing, and they took away the lab testing that I needed it for, but I said I was going to do it, so I did it, and I hopefully help somebody out with it. I will at least know my cholesterol and my blood type, because I don't know what my blood, oh yeah, they pricked me there too. I don't know my blood type, so a little bit of good comes out for me, hopefully some good comes out for somebody else, but a little bit of a horror story of giving blood. They took half my blood. I keep saying that in the house. I'm like, they're gonna take half my blood. They took all my blood. Being dramatic. It's funny because I can talk about death. I can talk about gutting someone, bleeding someone dry, all those things. In a book, I can do those things. Make it real life, and I am such a super wimp. I'm such a super wimp. Okay, there's my story time for the day. Show you the nice bandage on my arm. Oh, my arm still hurts. The bulginess of it. I'm gonna make myself sick thinking about it again. Okay, well, let's get on to some more positive things, but checked off the bucket list I gave blood. Y'all, I am at the kissing scene. Okay, so this week I finished reading Spoiler Alert, and spoiler alert, I was not quite a fan of it. Loved Marcus, loved Alex. I liked a lot of April's personality. I did not like a lot of the story or a lot of the characterization that meshed together between the two of them. Now, there's a whole conversation I could have about this book, but I read it for a challenge, so that's going to be in my challenge video. I also finished reading The Martian Chronicles again. This was a reread for me. It was a classic, and I read it first in college, in my undergrad experience in my sci-fi and fantasy class, and loved it. And I loved it again. Something I did notice, though, was I liked like the first fourth of it, second, third of it. I know these numbers don't really match up. It's kind of like, But then the last bit of it, whatever that last number is, with the fourth and the third, the last bit of it was pretty damn good, just as good as I remembered it. As soon as we hit the House of Usher again, I fucking love that story, and it just kept getting crazy like that for the rest of the time. And I actually forgot about the story, the second to the last story was one that I've taught before, which is the automated house continuing to do its thing after the people are gone, and the outlines of the family in reverse on the side of their house because of the nuclear blast, the explosion that killed everybody, and how the house keeps going afterwards, and how, you know, it dissolves into a fire. And it's, you know, essentially the metaphor for the world will keep going when we're gone. It really will. Like, we are not the pinnacle of existence here. And I forgot that was in this collection, so it made me really happy to listen to that again. My word for this was human, because even though we focused on Martians half the time and then humans coming up to Mars, they were all very distinctly human in the way that they had faults, feelings, you know, all the things that we think that make us human, they had too. And it was really interesting to see kind of the parallels between the stories. Of course, we know that there's no actual Martians, and so it's just helps us analyze humanity through a different lens, and that's why I like a lot of monster sci-fi stuff anyways, because that's kind of the point of it. Oh, and I gave this a 5-star again because it was fucking fantastic. The next book I read recently this week was The Girl Who Owned a City, and this was a graphic novel by O.T. Nelson. I think O.T. Nelson. Don't quote me on that. And it was okay. I think I also gave this 3 stars. So it's about a world where everybody over 12 has died from this virus, from this plague. And so our main character is a girl who is smart enough to know how to get food, where to get food, and the other kids around her keep trying to steal her food, and there's gangs and all these things. So every time she tries to step things up, people come in and ruin it. And it's a story about essentially how hard work is supposed to pay off. How are you supposed to live off of other people's hard work? And when she does so much of this hard work and says that she's the owner of the city, all of the older kids balk at it, like, why is it yours? It's like, because it was my idea, because nobody else has her job of being the leader. It's really hard, they discover. And when all of the young kids come back, when she gets her city back, and realized that she's the savior, the older kids kind of have to bow to her and be like, you're right, this is your city. And she goes, no, it's our city. And it's, you know, it's one of those really cute young adult things, little great things. So I did like it quite a bit. And my word for this was moral, because the point of this was the moral of the story. Now, the story was kind of, but the artwork was fantastic, I have to say. The artwork was fantastic. I loved it. I loved the, like, melted face in one part of it. But well done overall. So I think those are all my book updates. I'm going to update my journals though, and I'll take you along for that. Oh, and I did just start reading Don't Rush Me, by the way. I'm not gonna finish it in this vlog, but straight away we're shoved into so she's, what's that called? She's got premonitions. She can touch people and see things. Psychic-ish, not really, but you know, psychic-ish. Psychic adjacent. And straight away, we're thrown into a very bad situation where a dude holds her at knife point and plans on raping her, has tried to rape her plenty of times in the past, and we all know how I love when that starts. And then she's brought to a club and she gets away from him, but then is caught by the vampires who now want to control her and is like, have claimed her and won't let her go. They've kidnapped her, and she's like, I don't want to be with you. And the master vampire is like, well, I'll force you to be if you want. I'm like, why don't you just tell him then that he saved her from one rapist to be another rapist? Like, this is what I see, and it's kind of bullshit. I'm like almost 30% of the way through the book. I don't know if I'll make it to the end because this is seriously some bullshit. It's not really the kind of things I like to focus on. Oh, and we discovered in the first 15 minutes that her, like, foster father had raped her. And that her mother was raped and killed by vampires. Like, do you see a theme? Rape is not sexy. It really isn't. I don't want this much of it in my book. I understand using it as a tool for, like, plot because it is important to write about. It is important to acknowledge that happens. I've used that as part, like, because it was necessary in a plot. I don't want this much of it thrown at me. Okay, now I'm gonna go update my stuff. We'll see how far in the book I make it. Yep. Now, something I do not understand. Why was this 9 hours for 182, 192 on Amazon? And that was 5 hours for 336 pages. This does not make sense. It doesn't make sense. How? I don't know. Maybe because there was an intro on it? I don't know. Alright guys, well that was one hell of a mess, as I feel like most of my vlogs are, but I mean that's what life is messy, so we'll see what the shit happens next vlog, which I'm gonna start here in a moment. Anyways, thank you for watching. Please tell me how life's going for you in the comments below. What are you reading? What are you writing? Are you planning? Are you doing some fun life stuff? What goes on with you? I will see you next time guys. Thanks for watching. Bye!